The steam engine, really useful for teaching stores of energy. It's a great piece of kit, but there are safety risks with it, health and safety issues to be aware of. Firstly, this is the safety valve. You must check before you use it that the safety valve is free to move. If you can't push that up, then the steam won't be able to push it up and it could get dangerously high pressure. When you're filling it, if you remove the whistle as well as the safety valve, then a little funnel in one hole, you're just allowing air out so it goes in quicker and there's less chance of spilling. Ideally, start it from hot water from the tap or even boiling water from the kettle, just to save yourself time. Okay? When you come to empty it, it's the same thing. Take both out. That allows the airflow and it'll come out much easier. On the end of it, there is a glass window. So you can actually see what water level you have inside it. Make sure that you've got a little bit of a gap at the top, but it's okay to fill it most of the way to the top of that glass. Okay? What you're looking for is building up steam pressure. If you've got a big space to fill, it's going to take longer. Don't really go this bit. I'm filling it the wrong way. I should be using a funnel. You're a very naughty boy.
Don't worry, bad boy. Get it done.
Okay. Once you're there, check that everything is connected up. This whistle is getting a little bit old and fragile, a little like me. Bits are falling off. Again, a little like me. Whistle back in there. It's decorative, it really doesn't matter, but I do use it as a way of checking what pressure I've got in there. Safety valve in. Now fuel. Way back in the dim and distant past, these things used to have like a cotton wool material in, and you'd soak it with methylated spirits. And you'd like that would be the fuel. Until somebody in a school was doing that and they tried to top up the fuel while it was still burning. And burning fluid everywhere. So now we use these solid fuel tablets. It's basically the same sort of stuff that you have for firelighters. I tend to put 3 bits in. They come in little tablets that got a crack across the middle so you can break them. But as you can see, they don't break very well. Obviously, hot water, flames, you need to be using your safety mats and not leave flammables on the table. So, starting with the energy. The question I'll be asking is, what sort of energy store is this?
Chemical.
We gather it's a chemical energy store, or a chemical potential store of energy. I'm still learning the terminology for the new way of doing it. Yeah. What I'm doing now is trying to light these things, which it hasn't done. You can leave the match in there, it'll burn away quite happily. I tend to like better on a corner. So what we can start talking about then, depending on what level you're at, is what is happening to the energy that's in the chemical energy store.
It's empty.
Right? That store is emptying. And you can tell that, at the moment, where is that energy going to?
Radiation.
Radiation by thermal
Yeah, you've got
to the surroundings,
so
just lighting.
you've got transfers, you've got pathways, you can talk about thermal stores in the environment, you can talk about dissipation of energy. I stick it in here. There is a sort of grooved thing that it sits into. And now what you can talk about is, okay, we've got this chemical store. It's being emptied. Where are we trying to get that energy to go to?
To the water.
Okay, so we want it in the water. What sort of store is it going to be in the water?
Thermal.
It's going to be thermal store. Good. You're doing really well. There should be merits given out here. People get their answers. Is it efficient? You can do about efficiency. You can just hold your hand over it. You can feel the energy that is being lost to the surroundings.
If Camel Jot Singh is in the building, can you come to student reception, please? Thank you.
You've got energy
Dissipated.
transfers, you've got dissipation to surroundings, you've got efficiency, you've got stores being emptied, stores being filled. As that water boils, what's going to be produced?
Steam.
Steam, okay. So steam is going to build up a pressure in there. So what kind of store of energy is going to be inside there now?
It's going to be kinetic. No, sorry.
We're going to have steam under pressure.
Internal.
Internal.
Don't worry,
Steam
Tom,
under
I'm
pressure.
going to do voice over. How do you call it? Voice over something. This bar.
Internal.
The steam itself is going to become pressurised. So you've got steam under high pressure.
So we've got kinetic. It will start to move. So we can.
I think the merits have dried up.
It's not potential.
I'd be looking for an elastic potential store because of the pressure.
Elastic?
Is it not an elastic store?
No.
No.
I don't think
Oh.
that's
No.
you confusing that.
It's not.
No.
No.
Elastic
Because
is stretching.
As you tend to
It's
steam,
not stretching.
Something that goes back to its
Stretching
original
or
shape.
squashing,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah. It wouldn't be elastic.
I think it's
don't
potential.
It's potential.
What kind of
storm.
potential? Because I would have thought something under pressure.
Internal.
you've not got to the elastic. I know why you are mentioning
But
elastic.
is it
You've not got there yet. Don't listen to me.
Okay. Right. Whatever happens, steam in there. Tube's through. This tube takes the steam through to here. This bit is your speed regulator. It's the equivalent of a steam engine of the big lever that the driver moves up and down to regulate the speed. It's a valve that controls how much steam gets through to the piston. It's not going to work unless it's actually boiling, which it isn't. But opening that allows steam through, and you should be able to just flick the piston and get it going. If it's in the right position, it'll get itself going if there's enough pressure. But you may have to help it. Okay? If it's running fast, you can close this off. If it's running too slow, you can open it out.
The safety
So-
valve, do you have to do anything with that?
The safety valve is just
works
that.
by itself.
Just works by itself, you don't have to do anything.
Is it like a pressure cooker?
Yeah, just like a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
There's a spring in there.
That's what you are using.
If
Yeah.
the steam pressure gets high enough, it will just lift it off and you'll see steam coming out of here. Okay? So, energy transfer into here, you're going to get a sort of mechanical pathway, I would guess. I mean, I'm not a
Yeah.
physicist. And then you're going to get a kinetic store being filled when this is spinning. Yeah? So, all we need to do is really decide what we're calling that energy store when you've got the steam under pressure.
What is thermal? They say like
It's still thermal.
in
Yeah.
Internal
we've been
permanent.
teaching internal and thermal. That's the same thing, really.
Yeah.
So it would be thermal if we're going by.
So if you've got steam that wasn't under pressure compared to steam that is under pressure,
It would just be a bigger thermal store if it was under more pressure.
Because under more pressure, it's very simple. Is that the particles have got more space, and therefore they are hitting the walls more. And that's what's causing the higher pressure in there.
so you're calling it an internal pressure, an internal energy store.
Internal.
Yeah, it's internal
Mhm.
energy store.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that because it's being squashed and it wants to expand back to a different size, that would class as elastic.
I think elastic.
Hmm?
I think the spring fell out underneath the
It has to be straight out of position.
That's the
Yeah.
one that
Which
fell
is
out
not.
from the whistle.
No,
okay.
it's not got an original.
something underneath the
And now my
Yeah.
hand.
But it's the one
under the heat
Elastic
mat.
is about
Yeah,
your.
it's the one off the
Right,
vessel.
it's building up
Or,
now.
spring.
She needs to take a long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can close the regulator at the moment.
I don't think.
You're a chemist.
What I have found with
Biologist.
this,
Physicist.
these
They-
bolts that hold the flywheel in
Come on, you have
place.
to correct this.
I like finding out what your misconceptions are.
Awesome. Thank you.
I don't like the steam engine, it scares me a bit.
There's nothing to scare you
It
because
gets
of
very
that.
hot, it gets very hot.
It
It does.
It does get very hot.
That's the main thing. As long as you've checked that that safety valve operates,
Yeah. Give it about 30
It's fine.
more seconds. It should be able to.
Okay.
It should be able to get more pressure.
there should be a whistle on, should be a spring on the whistle, which there's not. So we've got some pressure in there.
Is that on the train that they go choo choo?
Yeah.
We're just trying to get itself started.
Yeah, it's going to start soon. I think you got a
It's
bit
boiling.
more pressure.
So things that
The water is actually boiling. You can see that the water inside there is boiling. So you've got that window on the end.
the thing that we're scared about is the
Okay.
pressure, right?
The pressure cannot get too high because of that. It has to have inspections. It's inspected in just the same way as the autoclaves, pressure cookers and whatever. So, now there's one of the things that you can talk about with it, is that it's this chain of store being transferred to store, being transferred to store, being transferred to store. And that's all happening simultaneously. If I open that and run it through fast, it's going to be emptying a store faster than it's being refilled. So if you run out of pressure,